Good morning everyone. We are the group 2, and today we're gonna report all about the threats to biodiversity and habitat loss in regards to the topic that was given to us, which are the plantation forestry, rangeland and grazing practices, and lastly, the conversion to urban, recreational and industrial uses. To start, here we have the introduction. This introduction is all about the overall meaning of threats to biodiversity and the habitat loss. So, um, to summarize this introduction, threats to biodiversity and habitat loss are actually closely related. This refers to the factors or activities that endanger the existence and the diversity of living organisms and ecosystems. So, the threats to biodiversity and habitat loss are do do have one major cause, and the humans are actually the major factor that contributes to this problem. No, human activities such as deforestation, urbanization, pollution, overexploitation of natural resources, reduction of invasive species, and climate change are primary drivers of both biodiversity loss and habitat loss. No? So these activities impact their ability to survive and reproduce, leading to decline in population on the biodiversity. So biodiversity loss and habitat loss have severe consequences now for our ecosystem. So including the decreased ecosystem resilience, reduced productivity, loss of medicinal and food resources, reduced cultural and recreational purposes, and also reduced recreational opportunities. So therefore, it is very crucial to address the threats to biodiversity and habitat loss and promote sustainable development practices to protect ecosystems and biodiversity. So next, here we have the contents. First, the plantation forestry. Second, rangeland and grazing practices. And the third, conversion to urban, recreational, and industrial uses. And lastly, to sum it up, we have the conclusion. So we're gonna discuss all about its advantages and disadvantages, and also its possible solution to overcome these kinds of problem. And conclusion, and here we have the conclusion. As stated sa report, no, there are sa mga topics, there are advantages and also disadvantages, no. It's like sa use of land for plantation forestry, rangeland and grazing practices, conversion to urban, recreational, industrial uses. So, for sa plantation forestry, it can provide economic benefits, but its disadvantages can also lead to habitat loss and environmental degradation. While sa rangeland and grazing practices, it can support sustainable land use and preserve natural habitats, but its disadvantages, it can also be associated with overgrazing and soil degradation. Lastly, sa conversion to urban and recreational and industrial uses, it can support economic growth and improve quality of life para sa aton nga mga tao, but its disadvantages, it can also have negative impacts on the environment, including loss of biodiversity, soil degradation, and increased pollution. So that would be all. Thank you for listening.